I just plug this straight into the camera for now? Since the mixer has no power, do you want to okay.
Let's move this.
I got it. Yep.
And turn on from the top.
Okay. Good win. Go pass.
Yeah, good afternoon and welcome to the BC Soccer Men's Over 35 Provincial B Cup Championship here at beautiful Mineral Park in Richmond, BC. We are on Field 2 where we find NVFC Norvan against Nanaimo United. And we do apologize for a couple of technical issues that delayed the audio here to begin the match, but I can assure you we're 3 minutes in and nothing of supreme note has occurred in your absence, or our absence rather. It's Norvan playing in the white shirts, black shorts and black socks, kicking from left to right here in the first half. And Nanaimo United in the red shirts, the blue shorts, and the white socks, playing from right to left. The referee for today's match is Todd Wiseman, and the referee crew in all black today, as Norvan take their first foray into the attacking area. And Norvan United, the third place finishers from the Vancouver Metro Soccer League Over 35 Division 1 League. And they've made it all the way here to the final to take on Nanaimo United from the Vancouver Island Soccer League. They were first place in the Masters B pool of VISL play. They're also the only island representative here on the men's side for this year's Provincial Cup Finals. We've already had one final in the books this morning. That was in the men's over 45s final. And in that one, it was Croatia SC Vitrini prevailing in penalty kicks over fellow VMSL side PCOV. So that's how the day began, and as we enter Chapter 2 here. In the over 35s B final, it'll be a corner kick to Norvan. Matthew Fangvong over to take, and he'll defer to Joe Brooker. The ball comes in dangerously, and a great save there. As Norvan didn't really do enough to defend that one, Brooker will recycle the service. Second shouts for handball here early. There was one at the other end of the field in the opening minutes. And another great save at the back post as Nanaimo struggling to deal with the set piece. Fortunately, goalkeeper Jeff Hackett was ready to start on time today. A couple of great saves to open proceedings there. Norvan come again. Looking for Brooker, but cut out. Nanaimo on a counterattack. A 4A down the far flank. Can they keep the ball in play? No, they can't. And after a bit of excitement, things are settling in here in the over 35s men's B Cup. This is Dara Fitzgerald, longtime servant of Nanaimo United Football Club. He's racked up plenty of goals over the years as well. Jorgensen to take the throw in. That'll be collected by McKenzie. Looks like he's going to get everybody up the field here. Norvan. Some space out here on the near side. Instead, they prefer the left. Cleared away by Lockhead. Only as far as midfield, though. And Norvan forward again with a shot from quite the acute angle. Nothing to trouble the net of Hackett on this occasion. Cut out by Fanavong. He'll get a second bite. Into a dangerous area. Hackett collects. Long from Hackett to this near side. Fanavong. Looking for Chris, but he won't be able to catch up to that one. And Norvan will start again through Dubois. A little bit of frustration on the far side as that Norvan attack fizzles out. Brooker doing the chasing for Norvan there. Come away with throw-in. Torpy now. Dealt with by Lockhead. Fitzgerald. Lurking. Come near side for Smith. Deferred to Deviato there, but Fanavong recovering to see off the danger, at least for now. Strong seasons, of course, for both these teams. Anytime you make a final, that is the case. It's been a bit of a road battle so far for Norvan as that one comes into the back post, but referee Wiseman spotted something he didn't quite like there. They began their campaign against FC Brazil from the Burnaby arm, of the Fraser Valley Soccer League with a 2-0 win. They followed that up with another 2-0 win over VMSL rivals Vancouver Harps. And then a trip to the island to play Bays United in the semifinals, where they emerged as 3-2 winners. That was their path here to Minaru Park and the BC Soccer Adult Provincial Cup Finals. And Nanaimo United had a date on the mainland with Heather Bray from the Richmond Adult Soccer Association in the first round. A comfortable 4-0 victory to begin their campaign. They continued their goal-scoring ways when they hosted Mission Mariners from the Fraser Valley League in the quarterfinals, winning 6-2 in what I'm sure was a long journey for Mission up island to Nanaimo. But then it was Nanaimo back to the mainland to play VMSL Division I over 35 champions Gastown Astro, and in a bit of an upset, it was a 3-2 win for Nanaimo. And so they face more VMSL competition here in the final as Smith barrels down the left side, cuts in, and a great tackle there by Chris. He had to get that absolutely right, and he did. You have to say referee Wiseman was very well positioned there, had a great view of it. Proper tackle there from Chris. So a corner to come. A little bit of distress here for one of the Norvan players. You don't like to see that in a final. So we're only shy of a quarter of an hour into this one. So a bit of a delay here before we get to the corner kick. And we'll need a bit of treatment here. It's not looking good here, unfortunately. And is that Dubois needing some assistance to come off, or is it Torpy? Looks like we are going to need to make a change here. It is Dubois, so the center back not going to be able to continue. We'll see what kind of a reshape that results in for Norvan. So it looks like Massimo Santoro is going to come on to take his place, and his first job is going to be help deal with this corner kick. So back underway. Rather frustratingly from a Nanaimo perspective, that one is played directly out of bounds.
Coming out of the match number 5, Dominic Despois, checking into the match number 16, Massimo Santoro.
So with the departure of Dubois, it looks like Chris is going to come inside to play center back with Lou. So not quite a like-for-like replacement. Massimo's going to play left back, it appears, and Bottiglieri is going to move from the left side to the right side. So a few moving parts there to deal with that change. And we, of course, hope that Dominic Dubois doesn't have anything too lasting there. Always tough to see someone have to come out of a final so early. It'll be on his Norvan teammates to pick up the slack. But right now, it's Avsil finding Fitzgerald for Nanaimo. Milholm. Space for Deviato. Can't negotiate it past Bottiglieri. Long forward from Craven. Looking for Fanavong. Can he keep it in? Just about. Ranging towards the middle of the park. I gotta say, Nanaimo's defensive prowess on these high balls into the penalty area has been less than convincing so far. Just as that long-range effort from Craven is also less than convincing. Still, though, looks like set pieces and balls into the area are going to be a key today for Norvan. See if there are any adjustments to be made for Nanaimo as the day goes on. Forward from Lockhead. Chance for Deviato on the near side, but Smith prefers to check it back to the right. Pettigrew, can he deliver? Short ball in, looking for Grigg. And they'll win a corner this time from the far side. cleared away. Well, we talked about some of the results that Nanaimo United had en route to this final in the Provincial Cup, but their league campaign was marked with quite a few lopsided victories. 107 goals for Nanaimo United in their league campaign this season. That's right, 107 goals for. 30 of those belonging to Darragh Fitzgerald. And he'll be looking to add to that tally today. Right now it's Norvan, though, and it looks like more injury concerns, as that definitely looked like a hamstring for Fanavong. He is in some discomfort there. So having already lost Dubois to injury, I don't think Fanavong is going to be able to continue at all. That was textbook hamstring pull as he was in full flight. You could see him reach for the hamstring. You can see him reaching for it again now. Again, you just hate to see it. Well, it looks like already Norvan could be forced into a second change as Fanavong can't put anything at all in terms of weight on that right leg. He's going to need to be helped off. It's a bright start as well for Fanavong. He'd been the source of much of Norvan's early joy down this right wing. Sadly, I think that's the end of his day.
Coming out of the match, number 13, Matthew Thunderbaum.
So an early involvement, perhaps earlier than he expected for Bay and Knight. And let's see if this is going to be a like-for-like replacement. Does look like Knight is going to come over here and play on this right wing. So back underway with the ball for Pettigrew to chase, but that's too much to ask of him on this occasion. As we talked off the top, we've already got one provincial champion crowned. Croatia SC Vitrini winning the over 45 men's Masters provincial title. And right now, over on the oval field here at Minoru Park, we have the Women's A over 35 final between Gorge FC in the Victoria area and Port Moody. And coming up later this afternoon, the Women's over 35 B final right here on Field 2. And we'll have the Men's A final for the over 35 category over on the oval field. That one kicking off at 5 o'clock. So do please join us if you're in the area. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Richmond. But if you can't make it out in person, stay with us here on BC Soccer's live feeds. Bit of a high foot there, but referee Wiseman all right to let things go on. We'll get a throw in now for Nanaimo. Absel wasn't quite sure which side that ball was going to bounce to, and in the end, not much he can do with it. So we're just past the halfway mark here in the first half of the men's over 35 Provincial B Cup final. Brooker. He'll look long this time. Torpy Not going to be able to run that one down. So back with Jorgensen here for Nanaimo. Good turn there from Smith. Forces Craven over to cut it out. Milholm will try the other side. Long one from Lockhead towards Fitzgerald. Not entirely dealt with. It'll fall to Smith. High, wide, not at all handsome as he scuffs that one off target. Norvan hand possession back. However, Nanaimo are happy to oblige by returning them the ball. Alvarez looking to link with the substitute Knight. Not sure he's quite had a touch of the ball yet. It's going to be another change here for Norvan. Not sure if it's another injury. Fordham doesn't look to be moving in any too much discomfort, so perhaps this one was something that was more or less planned all along as we hit the 25-minute mark. So Fordham off, and Yap Ming To joins the play. Craven loses out to Fitzgerald. He's got Pettigrew making the run. Only one to aim for right now. Pettigrew waits for support. A few more in the box now. It doesn't quite find its way through to Milholm, but we'll have another corner kick here for Nanaimo. Short options on. Delivered. And headed goalward by Smith, but comfortable catch for McKenzie on this occasion. Alvarez beaten out by Smith. Nanaimo will come again. Absil. And McKenzie calms things down. Chance for Alvarez to run in behind here. Cut back, but everybody had overrun that from a Norvan perspective. Craven now. He wants to go along with it. Easy claim for Hackett. Long forward towards Fitzgerald. Won't quite get that far. Up for grabs, Avgil. Get up by Toe. Craven's dawdled on it a bit. Fitzgerald's picked his pocket. It's come to Grieg. Can Nanaimo get going forward here? Toe. Lots of space here for Bottiglieri. He's got Knight wide. He'll use him. This time he delivers towards the far post. Headed down. It's fallen for Torby. And what a save by Hackett again. As the Nanaimo scramble it away. Well, certainly through the opening half hour, the difference in this game has been Jeff Hackett in the Nanaimo goal. He'll face down another corner kick. Corners earlier in the match caused quite a number of problems for Nanaimo. See how they deal with this one. Much better, but only as far as Bottiglieri. It takes a deflection. And Hackett was astute there to dive back to his right after initially stepping to his left. Thunderous kick upfield from Hackett. He's had enough of that ball in his area. Take a bit of a breather. Santoro for Lou as Norvan working around the back. Long for Bottiglieri. Alvarez with a lovely chest control there. Santoro. Nobody lurking for that delivery from a Norvan perspective. Torpy will settle for the throw-in. He and Santoro delivered again, but safely into the arms of Hackett. Norvan certainly getting some joy in those wide areas as Smith judged to have committed the foul there. And another change here as Norvan getting everybody involved here early. So Campos takes over for Brooker. Of course, it is unlimited substitutions here, the over 35s level. And Norvan seeming with the strategy to get everybody a few minutes under their belt here in the first half. Some of that, of course, not by choice, as we did have the unfortunate injuries to both Dubois and Fanavong. But Norvan making several further changes as well. So look to make sure everybody feels up to speed in this final. Nanaimo sticking with the plan that they came into the game with. Not a lot of movement on their bench at the minute. And another chance for a set piece here from Norvan. They'll go short this time. Well worked, and Santoro's got all day now to pick his spot. Looking for Alvarez. It bounces for Toe, and he skews it off target. Long forward again from Nanaimo. Nobody in a red shirt on the end of it. Norvan recover, regroup. They attack once more. As this half's gone on, Norvan certainly have grown into it. They've had the better chances. Here's Knight now. Preferring to cut back onto his left. Yap Ming To for Craven. Craven, does he get a shot away here? Blocked away at the last by Lockhead. Only as far as Knight, though. The danger's not over. Into the area. And just about dealt with again by Nanaimo. Ooh, and that's a bit of a miss from Lou. Can Fitzgerald take advantage? No. Alvarez is onside on this ball forward. Support coming in the form of Torpy, Toe, and Knight. Ball into the area. It's 2v1 on the back post. And big shouts for a penalty there, as did appear to be some contact into the back of Toe, but the referee, just as he was earlier with Nanaimo's claims, not interested in those. At least not for now. Knight, again, lingers a bit too long. Give Grieg a chance at it. Grieg has it now. Gets it to Deviato. Fitzgerald. Turns the corner on Lou. He'll swing it in. Alvarez. Can't bring it under his spell, so instead Afchel comes again. Grieg. Him and Craven renewing acquaintances. Craven does enough to turn it out for a corner kick. Do feel that set pieces may well tell the tale today. Both teams have had several looks. See what comes from this latest Nanaimo United offering. As we're into the final 10 minutes of the first half of the over 35 Men's B Provincial Cup Final. Did that ball go out of play? Flag stays down. Nanaimo will look to recycle. Jorgensen. Grieg. There's space for a delivery. Cut out at the last by Lou. And Nanaimo closing the half well here. They'll attack again. Fitzgerald looking for support. Was that a foul? No, it wasn't. That certainly was, though. It's Milholm and Toe again coming together. This time it was a foul. It wasn't a few minutes earlier inside the penalty area. Ball through by Greg. Here comes Fitzgerald. He's finally got some space to run. Looking to return it to Greg, but Santoro's done enough coming over from left back. It's a little bit 6s and 7s here for Norvan, but they've got the numbers back. Fitzgerald. He'll look to the air. Headed away. Santoro settled for turning it out for a throw-in. Deviato wanted to play quickly, but it is time for that first Nanaimo change, and Fitzgerald's going to take an early seat for halftime here, as I'm sure we'll see more of him in the second half.
Substitution for Nanaimo United coming out of the match, number 21, Derek Fitzgerald. checking into the match number 9, Lucas Tamarhil.
So Lucas Temerhil will join us for what's left of this first half. 5 minutes and change. Jorgensen. Milholm drops it back towards Greg. Check that Smith, but comfortable for McKenzie. Bit of an awkward coming together there. Don't look like anybody's too worse for wear, though. And another change for Norvan here before halftime as Torpy will take a breather and Brooker will rejoin us here for what's left.
Substitution for North Van coming out of the match number 15, Adam Torpe. Checking back into the match number 6, Joe Brooker.
Craven with room to distribute from the midfield. Alvarez now trying to get turned, taking on several. It was always a bit of a dead end there for Alvarez, but you do like to see that from your striker up front. Back himself. Didn't look like he looked off anybody else particularly, so bit of confidence there to turn and have an effort. A range finder, perhaps. We shall see. Looks like a handball there, but not in the opinion of Todd Wiseman, our referee today. Loose from Brooker. Nanaimo, 3v3 if they can go here. It's going to be too much to ask of Tamahiro. Ooh, bit of a nasty one there, it looked like, as Craven took a bit of a shove as he was in midair from Smith, but pretty back on their feet. The referee didn't see anything wrong with it. And that was definitely a late one from Alvarez in on Grieg, so that one will bring a whistle. And a little bit of a chat from Todd Wiseman to Alvarez. And now a chance for Alvarez. He's one-on-one with just Smith back. Jorgensen and Milholm scrambling to recover. Brooker's into the area. Headed away by Jorgensen. Ooh, and it does look like Alvarez might have a little bit of a problem with the hamstring himself here. It would be a third injury for Norvan if he's not able to continue. Still moving around up in the area there. It'll be another corner kick. I don't know if you can see it, but he is grabbing at that right hamstring there, Alvarez. Doesn't look the most comfortable. Just 90 seconds or so before the break. As Campos and Smith exchanged pleasantries. Brooker to deliver, just as he did earlier from this near side that caused such problems and brought two great saves from Hackett. This time it's headed away by Smith, and Alvarez doesn't look right there, does he, at all? And that's not a body that Norvan will want to see have to come off here. That would make a third injury replacement here. And he is going to have to go off. We'll see if he can get a bit of treatment. Maybe if he wants to try it again in the second half. Didn't look like Dubois or Vanavong would be able to continue after they were forced off due to injury. Alvarez, if you're grading it on a scale, didn't look as severe as those two injuries, but still enough to force him off here and see Torpe reintroduced when he thought he was done till the break. So Campos will come central. Torpe back to the spot he was occupying previously out on the left wing. As we see, we'll have 2 added minutes. And again, that might be a little bit low even, given the number of injury stoppages we did have here for Norvan players. Tiglieri. Toe. Toe's going to ask Knight to chase this one down. He will get there, but he can't get the corner kick. Long from Hackett. Well read by Toe. Time for Brooker. He brings in Santoro. Campos out wide on the left. Santoro's gone for it from distance. Certainly had the power behind it. McKenzie now, as we're into the final 30 seconds called for by referee Todd Wiseman. Not exactly the cleanest from Norvan here, and is it going to lead to one more Nanaimo chance before the break? We'll have a throw in. There's just about time for it. Smith to Grieg. It's bouncing around there. Deviato can't find it. Avchil. Ooh, that was a venomous one. Kenzie was well positioned. That should just about take us to halftime in the men's 2025 over 35 Provincial B Cup. The score is NVFC Norvan United 0, Nanaimo United 0. Stay with us. We'll have second half action for you shortly. And welcome back to the 2025 over 35 men's provincial B Cup final between Nanaimo United and NVFC Norvan United. And the score at halftime was 0-0. As play resumes here in this second half, it'll be Norvan kicking from right to left in the white shirt, black shorts, and black socks. And Nanaimo United kicking from left to right in the red shirts, blue shorts, and white socks. The referee for today's game is Todd Wiseman. It was a fairly even first half with some half chances each way, but in terms of the marquee chances, Norvan with several good opportunities, only to be turned away by the stellar goalkeeping of Nanaimo's Jeff Hackett so far in the first half. Will it be the same story in the second half? Or will a further hero emerge? Nanaimo looking to start the first main attack here of this second half as Grieg looks to negotiate his way past Brooker in a battle of the number 6s. And look to do it unfairly in the position of referee Wiseman, who's had enough of Grieg's fouls, or rather Smith's fouls, and gives him the classic final warning. So Milholm dropping deeper to pick this one up. So it looks like a adjustment at the back for Nanaimo to start the second half as Mike Smith has gone off the field, at least for now. See Milholm drop a bit deeper. Smith. With a decent ball into the area. But nobody from a Nanaimo perspective there to get on the end of it. And the departure of Mike Smith has brought number 5, Alexis Gorgona, onto the field. Into the midfield. Which has, again, facilitated Milholm dropping a bit deeper. And a bit of a unconvincing defensive effort there by Deviato, but he's saved, at least for now, by the offside flag. It's a bit stop-start here in the opening minutes of the second half. Wind picking up here a little bit. Blowing from right to left at the back of the Norvan players at the minute. Torpe. Centrally for Craven. Lovely ball back to Bottiglieri. He's into the area. In clean. Is that a penalty kick? It certainly is. There was contact in the back there, and I would expect the yellow card to be forthcoming as well. It is for Milholm, so Milholm is into the book, but more pressing for Nanaimo is goalkeeper Jeff Hackett is going to have to see if he can come up with a few more heroics, as it'll be Danny Craven to take the penalty. Craven's had a great game in the midfield for Norvan so far. Can he cement that performance now by converting this penalty kick from 12 yards? Final warnings here for Hackett. You wouldn't bet against Hackett on this one, quite frankly, the way he's been playing today. Final warnings from the referee. Keep the players outside of the area until the kick is taken. Craven converts. And Nanaimo rightfully protesting that there was significant intrusion into the area by Norvan players prior to the penalty being taken. It did not impact the taking of the kick, though. So the referee, I think that's what he's explaining here to Deviato, is that while there was encroachment, it did not impact the taking of the kick. There was no rebound. It did not appear the goalkeeper was distracted in any way. So Danny Craven has opened the scoring here in the 51st minute from the penalty spot. The score now in the over 35 BC Soccer Men's Provincial B Cup. Norvan United 1, Nanaimo United 0. So what do Nanaimo have in response? They'll look straight away to get in on goal at the other end, and could that be a penalty? Well, clearly there was contact there from the goalkeeper, McKenzie. It wasn't very convincing. Pettigrew went over. The referee and the assistant are going to discuss it, and it is a penalty. That looked to be the correct decision. The goalkeeper did clear out Pettigrew there without getting any touch on the ball. So a speculative ball forward has resulted in Nanaimo United capitalizing on some, you have to say, very poor Norvan defending. Unconvincing would be putting it mildly. The referee had initially blown for a foul the other way and a free kick to Norvan, but certainly you could see the contact by the goalkeeper on Pettigrew, and this looks to be the right decision. So just moments after a penalty kick of their own gave them the lead, Norvan find themselves on the receiving end. It's going to be Padraig Grieg to take this one. Grant McKenzie staring him down from the Norvan goal. Here's Grieg, and he does the business confidently. And just like that, and to the delight of some boisterous traveling support for Nanaimo United, it's 1-1.
Padraig Gray. The goal from Padraig in the 52nd minute.
So Norvan's lead lasting just about 2 minutes. And a frustrating way to concede right after taking the lead. So it's all a bit like it didn't happen at all, as it's 1-1, as you were. A penalty either way. Temihiro, dealt with by Lou. And now a free kick for Norvan. Brooker has been the man on set pieces all day for Norvan, and he'll step up with another delivery here. 5 to aim for centrally. That's where it goes towards Craven. It's going to come to Santoro, and he did have that long-range effort in the first half, you may remember. Off target. It's the same result here as he puts that left-footed shot well wide. Tamahiro dispossessed by Lou. This is Craven now. And Chris for Brooker, sitting a little deeper at the minute. The wind swirling here at Minoru Park is now blowing across the field, but a little bit left to right. Clouds have also joined us here at the moment. So the sunshine that the teams have been enjoying has temporarily abated. The action on the pitch is certainly heating up. This is Grieg, the successful penalty taker for Nanaimo, and the reason we stand at 1-1. The through ball for Temi here, but the flag is up. He's going to shoot it anyway. The referee's seemingly all right with that at the minute. It was close on the whistle there, but Santoro. Campos can't negotiate that one. Both teams claiming that one. It's going to be a corner. Norvan not quite organized to defend it. I think there was some thought from Smith about maybe playing quickly there, but instead they'll set up in the traditional way. Plenty to aim for. As this one whipped in towards Mackenzie's goal. It's just about dealt with at the front post. Lou sees it away. Bouncing over the head of Chris. Smith's going to get there. Can he keep it in? He can. Cleared away. Again, the aerial balls bouncing in on Norvan. They seem to be struggling with those just at the minute. Similarly to the way Nanaimo seemed to struggle with some of the aerial deliveries early in the first half. Well, perhaps that wind playing slightly more of a factor than might be apparent to the naked eye. Greg. It's for Avtil. He wants to take on Brooker, but finds no joy. Brooker will reset with a goal kick. The wind really is picking up now. Certainly the strongest it's been all game. Flicked on towards Torpy. This is Bottiglieri. He was the one who drew that penalty, and that looks to be offside. It is. Torpy just straying ahead of the play. But again, both teams showing that the direct route might be the smartest, given the conditions at present. Deviato. Both teams seem to have adjusted formations somewhat here. Deviato and Torpy out of your picture, getting rather closely acquainted. And the ball's still in, despite most of the players thinking it had reached touch. Craven sprays it wide. Oh, Knight got that one all wrong. It'll be a Nanaimo throw. It's well done by Lou. Craven now. Over the top from Brooker. But it all rather fizzles out from a Norvan perspective. Looks like potentially a foul throw there, but the referee's not bothered at the minute, and the result ends up being a corner kick for Nanaimo. Avzil towards the back post. While those ones are often exciting for the fans, they're rather wasteful from a team perspective, as that one goes straight out of play with no opportunity for the Nanaimo players to get on the end of it. A little bit of a dangerous one there. Smith. Brooker has the answer again. A speculative effort, safely wide of Mackenzie's goal. Fordham can't bring it down. So Pettigrew, the man who drew the Nanaimo penalty, gets going the other way. Quickly changing feet, though. It's Craven back on it. Here's Craven. Can he get there? Santoro looking to time one up here. Is Craven onside? He is not. So after that flurry of excitement where the teams exchanged penalty kicks, things have fizzled out somewhat here as we approach the final 25 minutes of the over 35 Men's Masters B Cup. Campos. Craven. Tiglieri. This is Craven. As we continue on here, you wonder just how much of an impact those three injuries that Norvan suffered in the first half will take on the shape of this game as Brooker takes over possession. You also wonder how much longer Nanaimo United will leave Dara Fitzgerald on the bench, given his 30-goal campaign this season. Both teams still with moves to make. Smith bears forward. Fordham's scythed him down. Looks like we have another bit of an injury concern here for Brooker. Looks to be stretching something out. Knee, perhaps. And we'll see what that means. A little bit of a commentator's curse there, just as I talk about Norvan's injury troubles. They seem to run into a few more. Looks like there might be a bit of a reshape here. But with one injury rising up, it looks like another one has been dealt with, as coming on to replace Brooker was Dominic Dubois. He was the first Norvan player to go off injured just a few minutes into that first half. So Dubois back in at center back now. We'll see how he moves as we continue. Santoro linking with Campos. Can Santoro join him? The overlap is on, but Campos prefers the diagonal. Not for the first time today. It's been too much for Knight to handle out there on the right. And just as we were wondering when we would see the return of Dara Fitzgerald, the answer is now, as we've reached roughly the halfway mark of this second half. So with a quarter of the game to go, Nanaimo's leading scorer and talisman will resume his place atop the field. Milholm looking for Pettigrew. Turned over to Bottiglieri. Moving him out of the back line has been a bit of a tactical masterstroke for Norvan, as he has been involved with most of their attacks here in the second half. And of course, he was the man fouled in the build-up to that penalty kick that made it briefly 1-0 for Norvan, before Nanaimo answered with a penalty kick of their own. If there's any questions about Dubois' fitness, he's doing his best to dispel those. A heavy challenge with Smith there, although now Dubois does seem to need a moment to collect himself. Grieg. The ball towards Pettigrew. Not quite enough field left to chase that one down, though, unfortunately. With just about 20 minutes to play, we can let you know that if the score remains as it is, we will see more penalty kicks. This time in the form of a penalty shootout to decide this match. No extra time to be played here in these finals. Straight to penalty kicks if the score is tied after 90 minutes. And here's Greg looking for Fitzgerald. Oh, what a save from McKenzie. Danger's not quite cleared yet, though, as Pettigrew half cleared, and Fitzgerald will score in the end. It seemed almost inevitable. Dara Fitzgerald, 30 goals during league play, the Vancouver Island Soccer League, denied by a marvelous save from McKenzie. But when Norvan couldn't clear the rebound, the longer it sat there, the more you felt Fitzgerald would find it, and find it he did with a lovely finish, emphatically into the bottom of the net. And it's 2-1 to Nanaimo United with 20 minutes to play here in the over 35 BC Soccer Men's Provincial B Cup Final. So now we enter the final act here. It's 2-1 for Nanaimo United as referee Todd Wiseman feels there might be a bit of time wasting there by the island side. Now a bit of a heavy challenge has the yellow card out from referee Wiseman, and it is Smith who had drawn the ire of the referee earlier. But he will have his name taken for the challenge on Chris. Craven. Lou for Santoro. Combining with Campos. Do Norvan have another gear? Chris. Give Knight something to chase. He's won it well, but can't keep it in. We talked earlier about the injury concerns for Norvan, and you just wonder if that might limit the options they have to make a change as they chase this game. Tiglieri. A bit of a tricky one for Milholm. Tiglieri again. Cleared only as far as Craven. Santoro. Ooh, bounces all the way through. No takers. Chris maybe leaving one in a little bit there on Smith. Perhaps a little bit of a tit for tat given Smith was just booked moments ago for his challenge on Chris. And indeed, referee feels that a word is warranted. Ranging forward again, not overly convincing from a defensive standpoint, but eventually mopped up by Lou. Knight. Chris. Takes a bobble on Craven. He's fouled by Grigg, and Norvan will advance further up the field. I do think that of the two sides, Nanaimo look to have the legs for this right now. Bit of fatigue setting in on the Norvan side. Fitzgerald will look to take advantage. For Pettigrew, can he get around? Not quite. But you do think that the way it lines up does favor the team from Vancouver Island. Norvan are going to have to take more and more risks going forward, and Nanaimo certainly look like they're set up to take advantage on the counterattack as that one is fired in by Fitzgerald and could have gone anywhere with the clearance from Chris. The change now for Nanaimo as Jorgensen will step off. And we'll see the first minutes today for Adam Shaban.
Checking into the match, number 20, Adam Sheba.
So Gorgon to deliver. And again, Referee seeing a coming battle between Milholm and the Norvan defenders as Nanaimo look to crowd out McKenzie. See where the delivery goes. Goes to the back post. Rising well with Smith, but not able to get anything on that in the end. Coming up next here on Field 2 at Minaru Park, we'll have the women's over 35s B Cup final between PCOV, the Portuguese Club of Vancouver, and Nanaimo United as well. So, two Nanaimo teams taking part in these finals festivities today, as a heavy challenge by Lou sees his name taken by referee Wiseman. Of course, happening right now over on Minaru Oval Field is the women's over 35s A Cup final between Gorge FC from the Victoria area and Port Moody Gunners.
Substitution for Norvan coming out of the match, number 14.
And coming up later on the Oval Field is the men's Masters A Cup final, kicking off at 5:30 p.m. between Surrey FC Pegasus, the holders of the trophy, taking on Port Moody SC Rangers, their rivals from the Vancouver Metro Soccer League. All that action still to come today. And of course, we're back here at Minaru Park in Richmond, BC tomorrow for the men's and women's Open Age B and A Cup finals. The Lita Sokalski Women's B Cup final tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Will feature Comox Valley United from the island against Surrey FC Pegasus, as Norvan do enough to deal with that throw-in, but Fitzgerald's onto it. Norvan really feeling the time here as they hurry to get the ball as we approach the final 10 minutes, but we're going to have a substitution to slow things down. Avcho will come off to be replaced by Kevin Lindo.
Substitution for Nanaimo United.
And tomorrow's program also featuring the men's B Cup final, the Keith Miller men's B Cup final. It's an 11:30 kickoff here on Field 2 between Gastown Astros FC and Fusion FC, both from the Vancouver Metro Soccer League. We'll have that game for you live on PC Soccer's YouTube channel. Then we get to the A Cups. As Craven plays in the substitute, Ben Kerr. Returning it for Craven. Nanaimo hints of offside, but Craven will get to run at the back line. And delivery off the foot was a tricky one for Hackett to deal with, but deal with it he did. And this season's A Cup finals tomorrow on the Oval Field. On the women's side, it'll be Gorge FC from the Victoria area taking on Coastal FC. That's a rematch from a few seasons ago when Gorge were victorious on that day. And on the men's side, it'll be Port Moody SC taking on the recently dynastic BB5 United CCB. All that to come tomorrow, but 10 minutes to play here in the over 35 men's B Cup final between Nanaimo United, who hold a 2-1 advantage over NVFC Norvan. Grieg, he's too much for Kerr. Here's Grieg now. He has Fitzgerald. checks it back for Shaban. And Lindo can't deal with that one. Fordham. Now Santoro. He's been good today for Norvan since being forced on to the match early. That injury to Dubois, who has now been able to return, but Santoro's been effective here on this left wing. Towering header there by Santoro. He's left Pettigrew in a heap for the minute. Looks like he's going to need some attention. And there was discussions of putting the ball out, but Norvan have it back now, and they're on the attack. But Fordham's not going to be able to keep that in. So, Pettigrew to receive a little bit of attention here. Be helped to his feet. It looks like they will ready a change on the Nanaimo United bench. So as Pettigrew is helped off the field. He played a large role today, earning that penalty kick after Nanaimo had fallen behind 1-0. He earned the penalty that allowed them to equalize before ultimately taking the lead here and flipping the script, so to speak. So Adrian Robertshaw on in his place.
Substitution for Nanaimo United. Out of the match, number 11, Mike Pettigrew. Into the match, number 13, Adrian Robertshaw.
Here's Shaban. Robertshaw chasing this one. Is again the fresh legs for Nanaimo coming on late as DeViato goes down in a heap. Norvan keen to play forward. And that is not what they brought Kerr on for, is that delivery rather wasteful. You just wonder about the lack of fresh legs for Norvan given the amount of early changes they had to make. Nanaimo looking fresh, looking fit, and looking well on their way to a provincial B Cup over 35 men's title for the Vancouver Island Soccer League. Already today, Croatia SC Vitrini winning the men's over 45 provincial cup final. And still to come, the over 35A men's final. It's all Vancouver Metro Soccer League teams in those affairs. The Vancouver Island Soccer League looking to spoil the Vancouver Metro League's chances at a clean sweep of the 5 men's finals this season. And they're looking full value for it with 5 minutes to play. But is there still one last twist in this tale? Deviato. Robertshaw in a good battle with Lou there. Fitzgerald, his goal stands as the winner at the moment. Shouts for Robert Shaw to take this one to the corner flag. But it'll be a Norvan throw as they get the ball back here. Greg. Nanaimo, they've got the legs, they've got the fight, they've got the ball, but they hand it back. Bottiglieri. Here's Campos. Oh, but they've got it all wrong there as that ball through to Craven goes for naught. You have to say today that Nanaimo looked to have got the game plan correct. They were a little bit under the cosh early. A couple of very sharp saves from Jeff Hackett in the Nanaimo goal kept things at 0-0. They did give away that penalty, but they got it right back. Now here in the final throws, it's Nanaimo looking large and in charge. But here's Craven, offside. Just when it looked like there might be one last chance. Lou. Craven. For Campos. Can he get there? Everything he's got to keep this one in. He does. But it's well defended. Oh, well cut out by Craven. Well read. Into the 90th minute. Everyone forward for Norvan here. They're queuing up on the edge of the Nanaimo penalty area. Will they hoist it in? Lou on his left foot. And it drifts into the safe hands of Hackett. Deviato calling for a substitution. As we wait to see how many added minutes referee Todd Wiseman has in store for us. Nanaimo wanted to make that change for Deviato, but they weren't ready with it, so the referee did not permit it. Great tackle there by Grieg. He's been everywhere today for Nanaimo. Loose from McKenzie, but loose as well from Robert Shaw. So we have the answer. It's 5 added minutes for Norvan to find an equalizer. And now we'll have that substitution. Deviato does his best to get to the middle of the field. Take off every second he can.
Substitution for Nanaimo United coming out of the match, number 10, Alessandro Deviato.
So Maury Scott will get an opportunity to
Number 18, Maury Scott.
make his mark in what's left of this over 35 men's B provincial final. McKenzie defers to Lou. Everyone forward now for Norvan. 9, 10, 11 attackers inside the Nanaimo half. Lou runs himself. Have to settle for a throw-in. A big throw from Lou. It's flicked across. Only as far as Chris. He'll recycle it. A looping ball. Headed down into space for Torbe. It's bouncing. Can they get it clear? Here's Lou. Oh, and it just curls over the bar. Was that it? Was that the last throw of the dice? Still 3 of the 5 added minutes left to play. But time, in the most real sense, is very much ticking. Nanaimo United, the top team from the Vancouver Island Soccer League's Masters B Division, looking to cap the season with a provincial title. Fordham. That's going in the wrong direction from a Norvan perspective. Lindo. He'll just keep it as long as he can. Fordham wrestles it away. Patiglieri. He's still got some legs left. Here he comes. Surging through the middle of the field. Campos. It's surely now or never. Hoisting it forward towards Craven. Nobody can quite get a fork in that. Anywhere will do from a Nanaimo United perspective. Lou defers to McKenzie. Plays it to Chris. We take back some of the field as they look for one last chance. Kerr. This is Patiglieri. Oh, and that's a horror challenge. Just a yellow here for Patiglieri, but certainly had potential to be something much, much worse. Jumping in there, there was no contact with the studs, and I think that's what saved Patiglieri in this case, but you can understand why Nanaimo are upset at that challenge. I think if Patiglieri catches him with the studs there, I think we're looking at a different color sanction from referee Wiseman. As it is, it's just a yellow card, but from a Nanaimo perspective, it's all they need at the minute to just hoist the ball forward. As they inch closer, second by second, to claiming this championship for the Vancouver Island Soccer League. Fitzgerald looks to have scored the winner. That's all he's done this year is score goals, and he's done it today. Is there going to be enough time for Norvan to get the ball forward once more? It doesn't look like it. We've had the 5 minutes we were promised. It's a Nanaimo United free kick. It would take something extraordinary now for Norvan. And indeed, that is the final whistle. Nanaimo United from the Vancouver Island Soccer League are the 2025 Men's Masters Provincial B Cup champions. It was a well-contested affair today, with no goals at halftime before a second half penalty kick to Norvan United, converted by Danny Craven in the 51st minute, However, that lead lasted just about 120 seconds before Patty Krieg put a penalty of his own over the line for Nanaimo United to equalize, and from there they would go on to win. A late goal by leading goal scorer Dara Fitzgerald makes the difference, and Nanaimo United walk away with the men's Masters B Provincial Cup Championship. Congratulations to Norvan United on a great season. Congratulations to Nanaimo United on winning the championship. Thank you for joining us here for the men's Masters B Cup final. Do stay with us all weekend as we have the Masters A Cup final coming up for the men's side, and tomorrow we'll be back with the Open A and B Cup championships. For now, I'm Tom Johnston saying thanks for watching.
Stay tuned, fans, for medal and trophy presentations coming up shortly. Congratulations to both of our teams in today's Adult Provincial Championships, the Men's Masters B Cup. Here to present today's trophies from BC Soccer, Ralph Luongo, VP of Adult Programs, and Vince Greco, Executive Director of the Vancouver Island Soccer League. First, we would like to recognize and thank today's match officials who are each being presented with a Provincial Championships commemorative coin. Thank you. And now, today's most valuable player. from Nanaimo United is number 8, Padre Gray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our silver medal presentation, please give a round of applause for NVFC Norvan. Once again, Norvan players can now get their medals. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our gold medal presentation, let's hear it for the 2025 BC Soccer Men's Masters B Cup champions, Nanaimo United! Our players will line up to receive their gold medal. Congratulations! And now, ladies and gentlemen, the trophy presentation to Nanaimo United! Congratulations once again to Nanaimo United and both teams for a well-fought battle here. Fans, we also have more soccer coming up. Women's Masters B Championship right here. Nanaimo United taking on the Portuguese Club of Vancouver, happening at 5 o'clock. We'll see you shortly. Once again, Nanaimo United ladies taking on Portuguese Club of Vancouver, 5 p.m. We'll see you then.